Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brian Bauer, and we're back with a whole other interview podcast sort of deal. And today we're going to be talking to Robin Malm. He's coming all the way from Sweden from a band called Vanquisher. How's it going?
Hello.
And,
hey, as we can say here in Sweden.
You spell it as H-E-J, right?
Yeah, it's the most common thing to say, just hey.
Okay, because I'll tell you the mistake I made. So we met in the Ola England Discord, and there's a lot of Swedish people, and my Swedish is IKEA, and
oh yeah,
I know it's words. Like IKEA in flames. Well, I mean, that kind of deal. That's kind of like the popular band there, or Meshuggah. But the thing is that I noticed people writing hedge. It looked like hedge. H-E-J.
Exactly.
And I didn't realize that you pronounce it like hey, which makes total sense. And I remember
it's exactly like the English H-A-Y, right?
H-E-Y, yeah. And I got in the voice chat one day and went and said hedge, like it's hay. I was like, oh crap. I had no idea. So Robin is in a band called Vanquisher, as I mentioned, and we ended up lining this up because actually Daryl V suggested that, and I thought this is a solid idea. Somebody from the Ola England community out there, which is it was always it was a pretty cool place. We met a lot of people there, and you play solar guitars and all that kind of fun stuff. And I figured it might be fun to talk about your band, which is pretty cool. You've been on my channel before, by the way. Oh, yeah, in the Shred Club. And you got that cool guitar strap and stuff. So Robin, it's like, as much, you seem like such a normal guy now, but when you're on the stage in Vanquisher, that's a whole different thing. Why don't you tell us some about Vanquisher and the characters and just the overall theme of Vanquisher?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense to start with because Vanquisher is such an unknown band, so I guess no one really knows anyways. But yeah, so we play heavy metal kind of as a core at least, and then we dictate our music with the stories of Conan the Barbarian, all the different short stories of Robert E. Howard. So that's kind of what decides where we want to take the music. So if the story is, for example, we have this single with the more almost like an Egyptical theme, which is like Stygia in that world. And there, of course, we make it more exotic.
Yeah.
And I mean, to some extent, we even take it more in the blackish vein in some songs.
Oh yeah. So I listened to Vanquisher like a while back, and then I put a bunch of it on coming up on this interview and stuff. And it's like, and you guys have such a look, and like there's a thing like you all have this dress up you guys do. How'd you make the costumes? Like, where did you get the costumes for this?
That's actually funny now that I have you on this, Fred, because I mean, we, of course, some of us almost made the entire setup ourselves.
Sweet.
But parts of my suit actually is from Canada. So there's some guy on Etsy that I ordered from.
Oh, yeah?
I don't remember his name, but he's a good one.
It's probably John from down the street.
Who knows?
Oh, I know him, eh? And, oh yeah, he's good there, mate. He's a good guy,
Yeah, no, but so for Vanquisher, we just think, let's do this like the whole way, not just the music, but everything. So stage show, stage outfits, like everything should be themed towards this universe, the Hyperborean age. Yeah. And that's also why we have the suits. And I mean, it's also such a cool thing because when you get on stage, you're almost like in a different headspace. So it makes it easier to just act out whatever you want. And instead of feeling insecure and like, I don't know. I'm standing here in my band shirt and jeans and I don't...
Hey, I feel
gonna play correctly.
I feel personally attacked right now with my band shirt and jeans. Well, you don't know if I'm wearing pants
when you're not on stage, right? It's just like it feels like there's a lot of bands that just get on stage and they try to play as perfectly as they can from their own studio recordings, but who actually cares about that? They don't even know your band, so give them a show. If you're having fun, they're gonna have fun.
That's actually such a good point. I never even thought about that in that sense. But you said it's like we're gonna go all the way instead of our t-shirt, our band shirt and jeans, and which is the last time I played live was like 100% that. I missed a chord when I last played live though. I was talking to the mic and I'm like, they don't even notice. Just go to the solo. They literally don't know.
Do that, and like in our case, just do something else that takes the attention away.
Yeah, exactly. You could have like a whole like sword, like a whole battle on stage if you had a big enough stage.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
And that's I mean, so I noticed one of the things on the stage, you have like that big rock with a sword in it.
Oh yeah, that's that was one of our debut shows. We made this to match our EP, which also had that sword.
I like it. I watched the one from it was like, I don't know, it was like a 3-song set or something that was on YouTube. And I just watched some of the live stuff. I'm like, oh man, there's actually like a decent like pro shot video of this like live band too. It's like, this is super cool. You were saying about like
actually have more recordings for live shows.
I mean,
at least
it's kind of harder these days anyway to even have that. So, but what like you said is like you want to go all in. It's like you hear like this, like a black metal band. You don't want to go watch a black metal band wearing a band shirt and jeans. You know what I mean? Like you want to go.
Exactly. There, it's almost like the best bands are, of course, the cool atmospheric, whatever rituals almost.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to watch.
Oh yeah, it would be super cool to watch. I mean, I haven't seen any big black metal bands or anything in my time, but I've seen they were Ethereal Sin from Japan. That was a super fun show, and they went all in on like the corpse paint and all that stuff too. And I like that you guys. I never thought of that. If you wear all that corny costume, that you can go out and people like they get into that show. I noticed that one thing, the crowd really liked it.
Yeah, and of course, there's two sides of that, I guess, or three even. Like there's the ones that take it very not seriously, like Steel Panther or whatever.
I love them. Yeah, I did anyway.
Yeah, I mean they're fun. But then of course there's the super serious guys. I don't know, Ghost perhaps or something like that. And then I guess we're somewhere in between. It's like it should be good thematic and like a good show, but still we're not that super serious necessarily. So
no,
that's important.
It's about having fun as long as you're enjoying doing what you're doing and stuff too. I mean, Steel Panther, oh my God, I've seen them live. Do you ever go see them live?
No, I've only seen the walk-in show, but it's just so...
Oh, okay. Okay, so I went to see them live before. Like, as far as I'm concerned, their first 3 records are the best ones. Not that this is a Steel Panther podcast or anything, but the first 3 records were like solid, and then they did something where it's like, okay, this has kind of gone downhill. They're so funny live. It's like a comedy show with music, and it's great because they don't take themselves seriously. Here's one for you. Speaking of somebody who's all in, who's a huge influence, King Diamond.
Oh yeah,
that dude, like, he knows. Sorry, my voice was getting groggy, but he knows he's cheesy. But you see the live shows, it's like, man, this is awesome. They got this like the whole story of like Abigail going on some of them. They got like the doll and all this stuff, and it's like, it's so perfectly corny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's also why I like a lot of power metals, because like the corniness can sometimes be fun.
Okay, now I gotta ask, what's your favorite power metal band? Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean it's the Swedish classic Lost Horizon.
Oh, dude, Lost Horizon's awesome. They only have 2 records.
I think that would be my my favorite power metal band.
Oh
then,
man,
of course, there's like Hammerfall and stuff.
Okay, Hammerfall is amazing in the mainstream, and I honestly think that Lost Horizon would have been like could have been huge too. Like their songs are just like godlike. You hear
it's just so good in every way, I think.
I can see how that's actually an influence on Vanquisher when I think about it a little bit. Just hear that, because it's like epically themed stuff. Now I don't remember the names of the people in Lost Horizon at all.
Oh yeah,
I know nothing.
Like the protagonists and stuff.
Oh yeah, but their singer.
I think that's actually the Polish guy that wrote most of the music, probably.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about it, but their first record's cool. Then there's it was what was that called? It was something, I don't know, something to the grounds beneath. Their second record, Flames to the Ground. I don't know why I was going to say Slaves. I'm like, it's not Slaves. And either way, I remember hearing Highlander. I'm like, this song is super good. I know we're completely off topic, but I'm like, this song is like super good song. And then, what, I don't know if does this ever happen to you where you hear one really good song but you're afraid to click the other one on YouTube because you're afraid that the other one's going to let you down? Because
that has happened.
Yeah, and that has happened. And that band was the polar opposite. And I see this other one, it was called Think Not Forever, and I'm like I can't. I'm like I took me a few days to get to click into it. I'm like, is this going to be good? And I played it. I'm like, oh my God, it's as good, if not better than the other one. It's like
almost all the songs on that album it's just like, oh, so good.
Did you ever hear the demos from the third one that was supposed to come out?
Yeah. I've heard those, like Wind or whatnot.
They're somewhere, and
they actually have their website still, and they're on there.
Oh, it's still there. I gotta go listen later. I'm like, I am disappointed that these will never be out.
Indeed.
I don't know what happened with that band, if there was egos, they just didn't get along, or what changed in life.
But if you want to hear something kind of like, since it's Daniel Heyman, you kind of get the same feeling. If you hear the latest Warrior Path, you actually get some of that.
Oh yeah?
It's pretty good.
Is that his band? Warrior Path?
Well, he's singing it now. I think it's a Greek band or something.
Okay. Is he not Swedish? Or is he Swedish?
Yeah.
Oh, he is Swedish. I don't know. Have you ever met him?
No, not personally. No. Not even like digital. So no, that's the answer, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've been on this record, I think.
Legend of Valley. Nice. Yeah, man.
He also sings on one song there.
All right. Since we're on the power metal kick, before we like go on about you or Vanquisher, since we're talking about that, you ever listen to Pyramaze before?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. First two Pyramaze records are amazing. They were with a guy named Lance King. They've changed singers, but some of the other stuff is really good too. You might know Iced Earth. We won't get into Iced Earth too much. There's been some controversy with Iced Earth.
We've actually had some people sometimes, for example, on YouTube, write that they think Vanquisher sounds like Iced Earth. And it's like, we don't really have listened to it that much ourselves.
Yeah.
Fine.
So the first two records were Lance King. The third one was with the singer of Iced Earth, Matt Barlow. I had to think. It's early in the morning. Matt Barlow. And then there was, I don't know who the new guy is. I don't remember his name, but there was some good music. Like Disciples of the Sun was good. But the first two were like really good power metal. And like the singing was like, that kind of like really good power metal singing as well. Maybe not as good as like Heyman or something, but it was still like, like different, but like very clean singing. Although Lance is a prog guy per se, but like, oh my God, there was a few of the records there were just, I'll just look the names up now because I have to do it because it's
speaking of that, I also really like prog metal. So
oh yeah,
it's the perfect in between.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what other prog metal do you like? Symphony X is cool.
Yeah, of course. Classic Dream Theater and Aryan is one of my biggest.
Okay. Aryan.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that the Australian one?
No, it's the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Okay, yeah, because there's two bands with very similar names, and that's what was confusing me.
Okay.
There's one with
record coming out in February. I think Star One.
Okay.
Sci-fi project.
Okay, that'd be pretty cool. Because there was a band with Toe Hider as well. That's why I got a little
but
confused.
That's Aryan. He has Mike Mills in there.
Oh, okay. That's I get confused.
Is from Australia.
Oh, okay.
Mike Mills is Australian, and then he's on that.
I'm pretty sure there's like an Aryon. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's also an Arion as well from like they're younger guys from somewhere in Europe.
Oh, Ryan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, what one's what here? Okay, maybe I never heard him say. As for the pure,
to remember it, it's also like the guy writing Aryan is called Aryan, so
okay.
He named it after himself, kind of, but not really.
Aha, gotcha. So yeah, the two Pyramids records, Melancholy Beast and Legend of the Bone Carver. If you like power metal, those records are, they're killer. There's some power metal out there that's just like incredibly way too cheesy, but
yeah, of course. I mean, I've heard really like it when it goes to Disney Symphony Orchestras behind.
Yeah.
It can be fun, but it's too much usually.
And as for prog metal, man, there's so much good and too corny of prog metal too. And I'm not talking gent. People think progressive metal now, they think gent, but I'm really talking like, the Dream Theater kind of inspired Symphony X kind of deal. Fate's Warning. I more think
rock inspired metal. That's my prog metal for me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Sorry, I had to drink some coffee there. All right. Anyway, in the band Vanquisher, you guys all have your own character stuff. Do you have a name for yourself? Like, do you have a character name?
Yeah, we all kind of just picked one ourselves. So mine is Heimdall, the warlord, which is also kind of the Instagram tag I have, Barbarian Warlord.
Haha, Heimdall. Yeah,
so actually, our names all come from a short story called Frost Giant's Daughter. So there's these characters from the northern region of the map, which kind of represents Scandinavia, I guess.
That's pretty cool.
So we all picked one name in that story, and mine is actually Heimdall originally, but I thought that sounded weird, so I just changed it to Heimdall.
Heimdall, okay.
It's a tiny bit cooler, I thought. So.
Instead, it sounds instead of like Heimdall. I don't know why. Maybe my ears hear something different.
Heimdall. It's like that's how it was originally in the story.
Okay.
Instead of the A, it was a U.
Okay. I get you. I get you now. Sometimes I'm hearing these things. I'm like, okay, I know that's probably a Swedish word.
I mean, it's hard. I know how you have it with the guitar. Everyone's been talking, right? Everywhere.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's like everybody hears it's like they're like Starbucks, car. That's what they hear. But really, like when I'm just saying guitar, it sound funny when I say it that way too? I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't really.
Some people
probably that you keep it for longer or something. I don't know.
It's become a thing and it's spread to other discords.
Yeah.
It just as
then again, it's a good spread maybe.
Say what?
It's always good with like some virtual spread.
Oh, it's funny, man. I find it pretty entertaining. But yeah, so you've got the character. Now the typical shows of Vanquisher. Is it always, do you ever have any like extra things happening when you guys have played live? Like other people on stage fighting or anything like that?
We haven't really had that. So actually we had a show at a medieval market where we had a fire show at the same time in one song.
Nice.
Also some people fighting. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. And not people fighting in the audience.
That was actually so cool because at the end of that set, we played the darkest song. So then it actually started to become stormy and rain. It's like, what the hell? We did not account for this.
Yeah, it was the perfect kind of show for Vanquisher. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool, man.
Sure. That show had some stuff going, fire show and fighting and whatnot. But we usually don't have like fighting and stuff. Of course, if we had a better people are behind us and everything, we could probably do more, but usually we just try to have some cool props and whatnot. So we have these you can see here these banners in the background.
Oh yeah.
And we've done them with a friend. He done most of it and then we also did some of it, so that's like the banner of Aquilonia.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And
then we usually have like a severed head and some scrolls and necks, and like I have my horn, a war horn that I blow before one of the songs.
Oh yeah, are you do you just blow into it, just make whatever random noise, or can you actually play a little tune with it?
I actually do it for real.
Yeah,
so it's even gonna be on the album actually. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I see the background where I see the Vanquisher background, but I'm just looking at that drum set. So I'm assuming you guys rehearse in there.
Oh yeah, that's actually the cool thing. So from the social media side, it might seem like we haven't done so much for Vanquisher lately, but when the pandemic hit, we were about to continue our recordings and go into drum recording, and then we couldn't really book that with our producer. Mixer guy, but so what then happened is that I decided to build this recording space where I live. So I actually have like a separate building where I have a studio set up.
Oh, nice. Did you made an actual, you built a next separate shed and stuff, did you?
It was it's like concrete walls and everything, so it was actually here already, but we repurposed it to be my little hideout for music.
Okay, that's really cool,
so we
man.
use it for the band, and then of course I use it for personal stuff too.
Yeah, so you can hang out here with me and hang out on my YouTube channel.
Actually, quite recently we recorded the drums for the coming album for Vanquisher. So
nice. I'm also eyeing a bass in the background. It looks like too.
Oh yeah, there's everything's in here.
Okay.
I have all the amps over here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh man, I see some Ingles and stuff. Now here's actually here's a really good point. How are you guys recording your guitars and stuff? Are you guys, so a lot of people want to do, plugins and stuff. I see a whole bunch of amps, which kind of makes me go, why do I want to use this plugin? And when I see something cool like an Ingle, what is that? An Ingle Fireball?
There's 4 different ones here. There's the Powerball 1 and 2, and then also the Savage 1 and 2. So
nice. Yeah, man. So tell us how you guys go about recording the album.
It's been since we have only an EP and a single out. We didn't used to have a real good know-how of how to do things really, but I think now we're kind of there where we can almost record everything for the next album ourselves. But because in the beginning we went to some place where kids hang out, they had some recording stuff, and we'll hook up our cables and someone else will handle everything. We just play. But now we've gone into the realm where we have our own equipment, like an audio interface. We just record the DI signal for our guitars, for example, and then now we've reamped them for the album. So I mean that's it. We have a good audio interface. We just record DI signals for all the instruments.
Yep.
And then of course mic up the drum set, and keep it simple.
Exactly.
No, we don't use any digital stuff really, but you can do that as well. I mean, as long as it sounds good and it's the product you want, then that's fine.
When you record the DI signal, do you use a plug-in or something to just monitor, or do you just use the amp and just have a DI box?
Yeah, just use the amp to just a DI box, and then to have something to listen to, we just run a virtual VST.
Yeah, might as well. That's how some people do it. They just have that going up. It's like, okay, this sounds cool, but I mean, I don't know if it can't sound as good as that mic'd amp if you do it right. Those. I mean, you got some good amps over there.
Probably some people, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Somebody else was telling me the same thing. Rick Galvez, he says, well, go to the studio, we'll monitor with neural DSP. But because you have that whole DI signal, they run that through some actual amps and things to get
it's also,
cool sound.
It's a good thing to do for anyone, even though you know what sound you want and everything. It's just, if you ever want to do something with it later, like remaster or whatever, 20 years later, you have everything set up for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I got this Kemper profiler over here is what I use, and it runs a DI out, but I only have 2 inputs on the interface, which I'd like to have 4 inputs, because sometimes you can do these cool things where you run out different effects through another output on the Kemper, but then I miss the DI. So now, generally speaking, I know a sound that I kind of want from things. I'm not going back and reamping this. I don't care. This is what I want. But generally speaking, if I'm not doing something fancy like that, I also have a DI. myself because you might
It's
want
so
to
easy,
do something.
so why not?
Exactly. And when people are getting an interface, that's where on the recording topic, it's easy enough to want to get like the most basic interface because it's cheap, and most people are cheap. Yeah. Or you get the guy who buys like the most expensive thing he can possibly buy that he'll never use. But
exactly.
Now I'm good with two inputs most of the time. But you're recording drums, so what are you guys using for an interface anyway?
Yeah. So right now I just have like a PreSonus 1818 VSL, but
yep.
We haven't recorded drums yet with this one, but I'll probably buy a bigger one for that because this one only has 8 outputs or inputs.
Okay, so, yeah.
I'd probably need one with 16, but that's the next thing.
Yeah.
So the guy that's mixing the album, he also went down here and recorded the drums. So he brought his own stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's recording's difficult. There's so much to think about. But like, I like your idea, just like, keep it simple. And like one of the things like I think when like people are like, well, I need to keep tweaking tone and stuff. No, you don't. Find one that works. Do you sound good with this one? Yes. Is this one working? Don't go back and tweak.
I think people also have a tendency to think too much about their own instrument, which is, if you're recording an album, you can't just think about the guitar only. You have to see the whole picture. So
exactly. You're thinking about a band, like even in terms of songwriting, you have to think what serves the song, not my guitar solos.
I can add how many ever guitar leads and whatnot, like if the song is empty. But of course, it's a band, so there should be more.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes we need to hold back. That's the better thing to do.
Absolutely, like serving song stuff. All right. Speaking of which, like you said, like you liked, a lot of power metal and prog metal stuff. Who's some of your favorite guitar players out there?
Yeah. Personally, I guess, of course, John Petrucci is a big inspiration for me. And actually, like older Megadeth stuff. So Dave Mustaine is also good, but the guy, it's everyone. Marty Friedman, of course.
Marty Friedman's just a monster. Yeah. God, recovering him was so difficult.
Chuck Schuldiner is one of the biggest ones, of course, too.
Dude, but I would say that awesome.
Those are like my 3-4 top inspirations, probably, as a guitar player myself.
That's super awesome. What's your favorite Death record? Do you have one?
Yeah,
all of them.
A lot of them that are good, definitely. Actually, it's funny. I hear a lot of people liking Spiritual Healing a lot, but I don't really like that album. But
I don't listen to that one too much either.
Yeah. But I really like, Human and what's the one before that?
Leprosy. I don't remember if it was Leprosy before.
Probably from Human and onwards is like my favorite stuff.
That's where I'm at too.
The old stuff is cool, but it's too much black metal for me.
Yeah,
I like the more progressive.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. Except Pull the Plug off, like that's such a good song though. Like either way, like that was kind of maybe in the vein of the newer stuff too. But man, if you watch the Pull the Plug with Shannon Ham on guitar, like the Sound of Perseverance lineup. And Shannon plays the solo and stuff. It's like, man, that's an underrated guitar player right there. Shannon Ham. And
they're good, all of them.
Oh man, yeah. But Human. Oh yeah, dude. How many bands is that? How many bands has he been in? It's like, I don't know. It's like Strapping Young Lad. You probably know Strapping. There's Strapping. He was in Death Clock. I'm pretty sure he's in Testament. Nile. I know Nile. Yeah. I don't listen to Nile per se, but I've definitely heard Nile before. But yeah, he I'm pretty sure Testament was one he's in now too.
Oh yeah, that's probably the current band, right?
Yeah, with Steve DiGiorgio.
Testament is also really nice.
Fun fact, the last guy who was on the podcast before you was Oyvind Haugland. I probably said it completely wrong. His band Terra Odium, the bass player Steve from Death and Testament, was which is pretty cool. Yeah, they're a prog band too. If you haven't checked out Terra Odium from Norway, they're awesome. I liked them quite a bit. It's definitely in the prog vein, which was cool. Yeah. So speaking of, so we're talking about guitar players and all this kind of stuff. You play solar guitars.
I do. I mean, I have other guitars as well, but yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Tell me about your favorite guitars then. I mean, I'm not endorsed.
Nice, of course. In general, it's more like about how it feels, of course. So
yeah,
I like the more Ibanez, Dean, solar guitars style.
I noticed you had a Dean in the video I was watching you guys playing live. I'm like, okay, he's playing Dean guitars here.
I also played on a Jackson first stuff. I like those too.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just like, I like Evertune. So it doesn't matter which guitar. Evertune, and then if I want a whammy bar, I have one with that. So I have an Ibanez and a Jackson with a whammy bar. And
what Ibanez do you have?
I try to have Evertune, not the other ones. I don't remember the name of that one.
Oh yeah, it's probably like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 7.
It's some RG green colored with like a claw mark on it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Exact number.
Oh yeah, their Ibanez naming is just ridiculous. Like, how do you remember? Yeah. I can remember a few of them. I have a 570 behind me over here.
But it's super nice because I bought it super cheap because someone broke like the head, but it's also fixed, so it's a real issue. Nice.
Yeah. The Ibanez, Japanese Ibanez stuff is just some of the better guitars I think that I've tried. Has been like the prestige line of Ibanez.
Yeah, the downside with this Ibanez is the pickups, definitely. I want to change those.
Oh, okay.
Pickups, INF something, I think.
Oh, they're horrible. I hate them.
Yeah, they're really, really bad.
Okay, Ibanez is like, for me, it's like, there can be a love-hate thing because I've played some terrible ones and I've played some good ones. And I've got 4 Ibanez instruments here. I have 3 guitars, 1 bass. The best quality ones is the Japanese made RG and the bass. I don't know what
is that they don't weigh anything. So.
Oh my god! And neither do the Solars.
Yeah, and the V actually is like a bit heavier. But
is it okay? I never played the V.
The A is of course lighter.
I have the A, and I have an Epiphone behind me. And one night we were jamming here, and that Epiphone's a special too. It's like a beginner's guitar that I've done projects to, but it was my sister's, and I have it now and play it, and I modded it and stuff. And one night we were playing it. It sounds good. It plays really good, dude. It's made of plywood. It's so damn heavy, and it's just like, oh, I hate this. And the last time we were jamming, like a whole bunch of people were playing. We had like drums, bass, whole work. I'm like, I'm taking the Solar. It's so much easier on the back. It's just, you can play it. You can stand there with it for a long time. And oh man, did they ever get that right? The Evertune bridge that's a game changer, eh?
I mean, I don't feel like I need something that doesn't have because I don't change tuning that much. If I do, I have other guitars. So
that's exactly how I work. Like, people are like, oh, you have one. Well, you got a second one. Are you selling the old one? No. No. If the
only guitar I've actually sold or got rid of is like the old stuff I had, like in a 3/4 acoustic guitar and some old copy of a Fender. But that's the only guitars I've actually gotten rid of. So
yeah. I've kept most
basically.
Yeah, I've kept most of mine. I think I've kept everything, but I've sold almost all the amps. Amps always just go just for reasons, and I kind of just have the Kemper. And I never got rid of my Roland Cube. Out of all of them, I never got rid of, but I just always kept the Cube. So, but I mean, yeah, you got all kinds of cool amps. Do you remember the PV Valve King?
Yeah.
I had one of those. I'll tell you a quick story about that. Went into a store in like 2008. Store's long gone. I don't know what happened to it. Well, maybe this will give you an indication. We went in thinking, being young guys, thinking, oh, we got to get this cool amp. Gotta have big amps, And they had these 1x12 PV Valve Kings. And we were playing it, and the guy at the store says, oh, don't buy that. The 2x12's like half the price. The one that was bigger was half the price. Turns out he was wrong. We bought 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, 2 of them for the price of 1. So I forget what it was. It was supposed to be like, $3.99 or something for the like $399 for the 1x12. Well, we bought the 2x12s each $399 or something like that. And we fit them in this little Toyota Corolla, 2 of them with 4 of us. I don't know how we did it. You can fit so much in a Toyota. It's crazy. And got them back, went in. A friend of mine bought a J-Bass the same day at a different store. Had these things. I had that amp for a while. I think I only lost like $70 on that amp though. Because when I was selling it for like way cheaper. And I ended up buying a Line 6 pod. People were like, well, that's a pod, not a tube amp. But honestly, I was traveling more and the little pod was better. And sold the pod, got the Kemper. I love the Kemper, man. I'd take the Kemper over that old Valve King any day. But 2x12, 100 watts, all tube in a bedroom. Holy shit.
Some too for having to try the pod. Or like, I didn't really buy equipment back then probably.
Okay, so the pod was good in a sense compared to some of the other things I had. Is that technology started to go to towards USB interfaces instead of just outputs and listening with headphones and whatnot. You could easily record with it, so then you can record USB, which was kind of attractive instead of me plugging a guitar cord into a sound card.
Oh yeah.
And that was a terrible idea. It was just all the gain in the world, and I had no clue what I was doing.
I know how it looks at least, but I haven't tried it.
Oh God, don't ever try what I was doing with old shit. I'm gonna revisit one of those. I need to do again because I screwed it up 3 years ago. One of these all these old little modeling pedals that were nothing like what was coming out now. Oh, it sounds like the real thing.
Yeah, no.
Pod was okay. I don't think it was as bad as it was. Remember the Line 6 Spider?
Oh yeah, that one. Yes.
So every so often somebody will have one of those around. I thought I want to try it again. Holy crap! It sounded terrible.
Still, the Line 6 UX one. That's my first audio interface. But
those were decent enough, though.
They can still do stuff, yeah.
They were better than the Spider amps. I mean, plugging into the computer, there was nothing wrong with the UX1. I think a lot of things were recorded with the UX1. I remember people with those.
Simple enough.
Exactly, and you had Pod Farm, so you could get the different. You get different models, but yeah, it's not the same as some of these higher DSP things. Like the Axe Effects came along, which is good. The Kemper, which I have now. There's even Quad Cortex. What I like what you guys are doing, you just have actual amps.
Yeah,
and it's just,
and we don't even care initially. Of course, when we record, we don't really care. It's just
no.
DI signal, we have something running.
That's the thing. These days, when you're just running a DI signal, you can sort it all out after the fact. That's the best way to do it. All right, I got to ask you something. On your guitars, you have, in the Shred Collab that you are in on my channel, you have this amazing strap.
Oh, yeah.
It's made of fur. Can you tell us a little bit about it? He's got to show us. All right, since we're at the boring part of this waiting, it's like a word from the sponsor we don't have. It's not Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, he's back. I was just gonna talk about Raid Shadow Legends. I've never played.
Yeah, I heard it. So
I know you heard me.
This is what I was talking about. Then yes, the furry straps.
So I have a question. It's and this is a non-judgmental question. Is it real fur?
It's not. It's some kind of fake you can buy in the regular textile shops.
Oh, okay. I mean,
leather strap underneath, and then I've just glued this thing on.
That's awesome.
It's super comfy because it's so smooth.
Oh man, it looks great. I mean, it's almost classy.
Fits the theme.
It does.
Aryan.
I think it's super cool, man. Either way, like I was like, is it real or is it not? And I mean, like to me, it doesn't really matter too much.
I mean, that's the thing with my other suit, that most of that is real, like the things that I ordered, but everything I've done myself is just fake.
Oh yeah,
like you can't really tell.
Ethically,
smelling it.
Yeah, ethically is the best way to just have it as fake fur. And on top of that, there's an abundance of fake fur. So
there's also some pros with having the fake one because it doesn't lose like the
absolute.
And also the smell is like leather smells really much.
Yeah, no.
Especially you need to take care of it and don't get it wet.
Yeah, and you get on stage and you're probably sweating and everything else.
Yeah, I can imagine that being a real problem if we go totally.
Oh man, yeah.
Because we only have one set of stage clothes, also. So.
Oh man, if you did like a whole full scale tour, holy crap, that's gotta be. You might need to have 2 suits.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there's this band, Brothers of Metal. I guess you've heard.
Oh yeah.
Them maybe. Yeah, they also have like fur and stuff, and they talked about this problem when going on tour that we don't have any additional set of clothes, so we're just gonna smell horrible all the time.
I mean, on stage, it's just one thing.
Yeah. Then it's fine. But then you meet up with the fans afterwards, and
it's like
you're in the suit still.
It's just like here. It's like, well, put my arms around you. It's like smell my armpits.
But maybe that's then a good thing with the pandemic, that you don't need to get close to people.
Yeah, right now it's probably not a good idea to get too close to people all the time, but yeah, there's definitely some things. All right, well, I think we're closing up towards the end of this one here for sure. But anyway, my last question for you is, do you have any advice for any upcoming bands and guitar players?
There's some advice, of course, I can probably give. Not that I'm the wisest guy, maybe, but
it doesn't matter.
Some things that you've learned through experience. It's like, listen to people, but don't be foolish, for example. Like, don't trust people blindly, but still be open to getting knowledge from people.
Yeah.
But of course, also try and filter it yourself so you don't think that everything is correct.
Exactly.
But then again, what is correct? That's also the thing.
You have to decide what's correct for yourself.
Yeah.
What's working for your band?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of criticism people can give, and there's a lot of advice people can give, but is it good advice for you? Is it fit? Because some people it's always their interpretation of what they think they want to see, but it's
the state of social media today. It's like half of it's gonna be shit advice. Anyway,
yeah, it's like
people who know this thing is good, so take this thing. I haven't even heard it myself, but this is shit because other people says it's shit. Yeah. Right, thanks.
Exactly. Like line 6 is like that too. I saw a thing the other day. Line 6. I hate line 6. Why do you hate line 6? Yes, they've put out some garbage, but they've put out some amazing stuff too. So, and a lot of the pro dudes out there playing live, you're hearing helix tone.
Yeah,
so
also, the best tip I can probably give is, of course, make sure that what you're doing is something for yourself and that you have fun. Don't try to put out stuff that someone else wants to see or hear, because you're not going to enjoy doing that. So.
Absolutely not. That's for sure. Anyway, what's next for Vanquisher before we get going? You have an album coming up, or you're recording an album.
Exactly. We haven't released the full album yet. So we have actually now recorded the full album. And we're awaiting mixes, and we can listen to that ourselves.
That's pretty cool,
then
man.
We'll see when it releases. There's some
awesome
stuff that you can prepare and set up for that.
Yeah, just get yourself a cool music video and you're all set. Because
that's also something we should definitely do. But
yeah, just don't get some random kids from like Craigslist or something or whatever you guys use to LARP, because they'll show up in like, I don't know, cardboard box armor or something. I would do that.
Yeah, since we have our suits, it's just like do something random. It's cool
exactly. Music videos are difficult to make anyway. I'm not quite there. I'm ready to start recording one. I'm hoping the next few months myself.
But you got a song. The song that you released way back, right?
I did.
Remember the name?
there's a few. I've only released one song this year, so in 2021. Is this by the time anybody's watching this?
From last year.
Yeah, it was Distant.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, well, I got one that's probably more in the vein of metal coming up here soon. I just got to finish the bass playing and stuff, and then get it and mix it and stuff, you know. So it takes a while to do all this stuff, so it's gonna be a bit of patience, because like right now I'm trying to get the YouTube content ready to go for a little bit while I'm off, like doing this interview and stuff. And now, in saying that, thank you so much for doing this, Robin.
Oh yeah, I mean, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, man.
And, thanks to Daryl, of course, for recommending me.
He suggested it a while back, and it's like, hey, I should talk to you and stuff. So yeah, I'm on all the guys from over in like Sweden and Norway right at the moment. I don't know, are you the first guy from Sweden here on this one? I don't remember. I think you might be. I might be just blanking right now. I had Raphael from Brazil. Oh yeah. You know Raphael.
Yes.
Yeah, he's super cool. I've had Quentin from Red Method over in England, for Lee, England, and and Norway was the last time. I've had Jack Harris and stuff. It's always over there. I don't know why. It's like I had a few of the Canadian American guys back in the summertime, but you know. Anyway, dude, thanks so much for doing this interview and stuff. So you guys can all check out Vanquisher. They are on Spotify. There's stuff on YouTube. They'll have new stuff out coming up, as you heard. So yeah, do that. Make sure you click the subscribe button, the like button. You can also probably follow Vanquisher over on Spotify. I'm sure that's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, you name it.
The whole works. Just go through there and Christian mingle, you know, and you know, the whole works. So anyway, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next whatever it is we're doing. See yous.